Hello, everyone. My name is Eric. I was born in the United States. However, I have 4 grandparents, and they all came from Russia.
Дорогие друзья, меня зовут Эрик, и хотя я родился в США, но мои 4 бабушек и дедушек все из России дореволюционной.
This is 1 grandparent came from Lithuania, and 2 grandparents came from Belarus. But this is a long time ago, over more than 100. So I've always had a feeling for Russia. Even my mother used to play symphonies by famous Russians like Rimsky-Korsakov, David Oistrakh, and Rachmaninoff, and Prokofiev. My father died when I was 8 years old. So that was a very big, you could say, very painful. And my mother had 2 children to take care of, and it was very stressful. So I grew up with a lot of anxiety. When I was, I think I was 9 years old, my grandmother had pictures of her family on a mantle, on a shelf. And I asked her, who are these people? Yeah, so my grandmother is in America. Mm-hmm. Her family members were living in Europe, mm-hmm. living in Lithuania. Mm-hmm. Where are they, Nana? They're dead. What happened? So I always had in my mind from childhood, what if they come back? Starting in 2013, I was following the news, and I see the same people who persecuted my family in the Russian Empire, the pogroms in the 19th century, why many Jewish people went to America. And now they're causing problems all over again. Mm-hmm. I realized as a young person that I needed to deal with the inner problems. You can't just blame other people. We have to take responsibility for our own heart and mind. So I discovered that our mind, usually our thoughts are like a flood. They're like a river that is just flowing without our control. But we do have the possibility to gain control over our mind and our thoughts. So Buddhist meditation teaches how to do that. However, there are other religions that also teach this. This is a natural human exercise. So basically what it is we call this mindfulness of breathing. Breathing is a natural process we don't usually notice. But when we practice being mindful of our breathing, watching our breathing, other things come up. Thoughts, emotions, sensations, all of these things come up. And an interesting thing happens when you practice this mindfulness of breathing. Gradually, you become more familiar with the thoughts that are painful or anxious or anger or I must have or tension, those kinds of things. Mm-hmm. And then as we become more mindful, we realize, oh, I have a choice. I don't have to be anxious. I don't have to be angry. We realize that those are just mental habits that we don't even realize they're habits. They control us, but we can take control back. And you started off by talking about how unique and wonderful you all are. In our community, the same thing happened. Well, I lived in a monastery in America, for 13 years, trained in this community in California. I started when I was 22 years old. So then I practiced there for 13 years. So I'm trained as a Zen monk. My Buddhist name.
Буддийское имя здесь написано. What is your Buddhist name?
Open straight stream Garuda image. It means there's a wide stream and there's a reflection of a big bird overhead. Mm-hmm. It's like an eagle type of bird. So while I was there, every day we would meditate a lot.
I'm sorry, there was a question why you chose Buddhism.
Now, when I visited China also, and I stayed at many temples in China. So I first met a Chinese monk, and it was like this immediately. Brothers. So I said, gee, this is what a coincidence that we met. And he said, not a coincidence, an appointment kept after 1,000 years. So, and when we become ordained, we have a paper that shows this is my teacher, this was his teacher, his teacher, his teacher, his teacher, back. And we found out we had the same teacher 1,000 years ago. So this is a very speculative, what I'm going to say, because, did we have past lives or future lives? No one knows. But I think there's two parts of me. One is the old Chinese monk part, and also the family whose it's possible that I was killed by the Nazis during World War II. So that may be why I have such a strong feeling about this, and why I support Russia, because this is a long process that has been going on for a long time. So we need to understand, we talk about historical memory. Bringing it back to the present, regardless of history, what do we do about this body and mind right now? We cannot control other people. There will be good people who help us, and there will be other people who we will take as trying to harm us. This raises a very difficult question. Jesus said to turn the other cheek. And in Buddhism, there's also a story of someone who was hacked to death. He was a saint who was hacked to death, but he refused to be angry. So there's that part, but we also have a responsibility to protect the innocent. Bringing it back to the present moment, how do we deal with our own inner life? How do we take responsibility for our own emotions, our negative feelings, our the things that hinder us, the things that the bad habits that we have? How do we gradually reduce those while encouraging the positive emotions? My feeling is, and you all expressed it, our true self, our true being is a positive thing, and it's only those negative things that it's like the sun and the clouds. Our heart and mind are like the beautiful clear blue sky, but there are clouds. Today it is cloudy, and I do not have the ability to clear those clouds. However, when my mind is cloudy with all kinds of, sometimes black clouds, sometimes rain, sometimes wind, I watch that and I know, okay, that's it. This will pass, but I know that the pure sun will be coming out again. And so we just watch, and as we watch, those clouds gradually go away. It's a process. It's not something I'm going to meditate for 15 minutes and bingo, all my problems are gone. What we're doing is we're changing our intention, so we recognize, we have this issue, and now we will take responsibility and deal with it. And the meditation practice is like the scalpel in the surgery. It is a simple thing that we can all do, but then we extend that mindfulness, that carefulness, to everything we do in our daily life. And I'll just finish with the last story about this young man. His father died. This was in ancient China. He's living in poverty with his mother. He can't even read, but he was a woodcutter. And one day he heard a monk reading from a holy book. And because he had great talent, spiritual talent, he immediately understood something. And so a family friend sent him to the Zen master. So the Zen master meets him and says, "You're illiterate. You're from the South. You're nobody. What are you coming to me for?" And this young man said, "It may be true. I cannot read, and I'm from the South, and I'm not cultured. But my heart is, I know that all beings' hearts are pure." So the teacher said, "This guy is going to be my successor." So we're loosening up our spine,
Что мы делаем? Мы расслабляем.
shoulders.
Вот так вот мы сейчас расслабляем нашу грудную клетку.
Okay. Now we're going to okay.
Немножко с ноги на ногу переносим, переносим.
So we're feeling this stretching in here.
Да, и мы чувствуем вперед, да. И мы чувствуем, как у нас внутренне, вот на наших ногах вперед,
But our hips rotate like this.
а наши бедра, они как плечики, да, вращаются.
So if you loosen up your hips and they rotate more, then it becomes easy.
Очень важно вот эту часть бедра размять, чтобы разработать, да, чтобы она
Настя больной ногой
Then, so we're sitting this way, and
как майка.
come back somewhere around your belly, okay?